Oh, hey. What a sharp-looking group. Hey, how many of you were latchkey kids growing up? You'd get home from school before your parents returned from work, left to your own devices to keep yourself entertained. For kids in the 80s, being home alone meant snacking on whatever you felt like and indulging in any number of afternoon distractions.
Kids! I love them.
You could pop a movie in your VCR, maybe fire up the Nintendo Entertainment System, play around with some toys or action figures, or just put something on the television set.
Whopper at Burger King. Lots of ketchup.
The art of bugging people.
Hate commercials.
Results.
There's ads on every station. Maybe there'll be some reruns of
Daylight come and we want to go home.
That was strange.
He said them, he said them, he said them, he said them, he said them. Daylight come and we want to go home.
That was beautiful.
Thanks, Fozzie. But let's forget about all that and get back to my favorite decade. Typically, when you hear people talk about the 1980s, they'll get nostalgic for neon colors or synthesized music, but rarely do we ever discuss how disgusting this decade was, at least for children.
Then this was horrible. All the people started getting sick and throwing up all over each other. I never felt so bad in my entire life.
I'm beginning to like this kid, Mom.
Gross out entertainment was in its prime. Kids couldn't get enough of toys like Mad Balls and My Pet Monster. Collecting Garbage Pail Kids cards was a spectacularly grotesque hobby, and Nickelodeon made sliming people a regular occurrence. But slime time wasn't exclusive to the cable network. Just ask Peter Venkman of The Real Ghostbusters.
Now that's what I call a happy ending.
Based on the popular 80s film, The Ghostbusters received a Saturday morning update in 1986, leading to an action figure line, Happy Meal toys, which, we've talked about in a previous episode of McDonald's Unboxed, and a spin-off series starring everyone's favorite lovable little green Spud. But Slimer wasn't the only popular poltergeist of the 1980s. The imagination of Tim Burton brought us the ghost with the most in '88. Beetlejuice, or as most of us know him, Beetlejuice, became a Hollywood star that year, rubbing shoulders with John McClane, Jessica Rabbit, and Prince Akeem.
Oh my goodness, it is you! Greetings, Your Highness!
But Beatlemania didn't end in 1988 because 1 year later, this foul phantasm would invite children everywhere to take a trip to the Netherworld. In this segment, we'll be reflecting on the Beetlejuice cartoon and some of the fast food toys that television show inspired. Welcome to a special episode of Burger King Unboxed, where we'll uncover the truth behind the Home of the Whoppers promotional tie-ins. Please take a moment, click that like button, and if this is your first time checking us out, why not have it your way and subscribe to Retro Spectrum. Now, Tim Burton was no stranger to children's entertainment. He'd work for Walt Disney Animation on the commercial flop The Black Cauldron. He also finished a live-action short, Frankenweenie, before being fired from the House of Mouse. Mickey felt Burton's work was too dark and scary for children. But actor Paul Reubens was so impressed with Frankenweenie that he quickly snatched up Burton to work on the film Pee-wee's Big Adventure. The movie did extremely well, and Tim Burton was now very popular. Pee-wee went on to star in his own children's television show just the following year. It's wild to consider how many 80s films received kid shows or Saturday morning cartoons. We already mentioned The Real Ghostbusters, but how many people remember RoboCop, Police Academy, and The Toxic Crusader? Many of the films that inspired these cartoons were incredibly inappropriate for children, but we should never underestimate the power of 80s commercialism and its unique ability to market anything and everything that could be turned into an action figure line. So with that in mind, let's not forget about Beetlejuice, the movie. Not to be confused with the red supergiant located in the constellation of Orion. The film managed a PG rating at the time due to suggestive materials, strong language, violent content, and bloody images. Not the best product to construct a children's show around, but remember, this was the 1980s.
I know I should be wary. Still I venture someplace scary. Ghostly haunting, I turn loose. Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice!
Warner Brothers Television would throw caution to the wind, and 1 year later, in 1989, the Beetlejuice cartoon premiered on ABC. The Beetlejuice animated series continued the adventure of our favorite cadaverous con artist as he invited Lydia Dietz on his adventures into the Netherworld. The ghost with the most was voiced by Stephen Ouimet, and the wonderful Alison Court brought Lydia to life. If she sounds familiar, that's because she also voiced Jubilation Lee in X-Men, the animated series.
Cut the volume down, will ya?
Beetlejuice brought back his iconic black and white stripes, while our gothic fashionista Lydia could be seen sporting her now iconic red spiderweb poncho. The cartoon removed some elements, added a few new characters, but kept the sandworms. The 80s were all about marketing these creepy crawlers, celebrating the variety that you'd encounter throughout the universe.
We've been to Saturn. Hey, I've been to Saturn. Whoa. Sandworms. You hate them, right? I hate them myself.
The Beetlejuice film tells us that sandworms live in the deserts of Saturn, but you might encounter the Shai-Hulud on the planet Arrakis or the Sarlacc on Tatooine, although I'm not sure that last one counts as a worm.
Bert, they're under the ground. They're under the ground. Jesus Christ.
It wasn't until 1990 that tremors would appear here on Earth, making sandworms an intergalactic phenomenon. While the show took some beats from the movie, there's a lot of originality here as well. The Beetlejuice cartoon offered some wonderful computer-generated segments in the form of marketing parodies.
How about neither world lettuce, 59 cents a head, and a 2-for-1 sale on Night of the Living Bread?
Tim Burton brings back an early creation in an episode called Prince of the Netherworld. Burton fans will likely remember Prince Vince from the 1982 stop-motion animated short, Vincent. My favorite part would have to be that manic intro. The fast-paced animation and Danny Elfman's theme got me excited to experience each and every episode. It's fun to consider that after this, Elfman would become a staple of American television, composing themes for The Simpsons and Batman the Animated Series.
I can't wait to see what you brought for us to eat, Beetlejuice.
Well, for starters, there's corn on the slob. The main course is macaroni salad. And for dessert, strawberry snort cakes.
The show was great and would retain a lot of the grotesque humor we enjoyed in the original film. It also inspired a plethora of products, including comic books and Valentine's Day cards. And while McDonald's wasn't interested in doing any cross-promotion, BJ went to BK in 1990, giving us the Beetlejuice Kids Club meal.
With the lovable characters from Beetlejuice on one side and on the other. You can get 6 in all, one each time you buy a Kids Club meal now at Burger King.
So I was able to snag 2 of these Beetlejuice Burger King toys, and I'm very excited to open these up. Here's my first one, Beetlejuice. Let's open up the bag and see what's in store for us. Now, this is really cool because, first off, it's based on the cartoon. He's still got his black and white stripes going on in his outfit there. And on the bottom it says Beetlejuice. But wait, each of these toys has a backside as well. And as you can see on this one, we have Beetlejuice, Lydia, her mom, and her dad, in kind of like a totem pole. It's called the Ghost Post. This toy is the Ghost Post. It says it right here on the bottom. And I don't know, I think it's just a very unique way of presenting a Burger King toy, these little prizes. Something interesting on both sides.
Come on down to Messy Jesse's. We specialize in hard-to-find items. If you find anything in this mess, it's yours for half price.
So let's check out toy number 2. Here is Beetlejuice. He looks like a snake charmer. Let's open it up and see if we can figure out what's going on with this particular toy. And there he is. It is called the Charmer. It says the Charmer on the bottom of this particular figure, and he's kind of sitting there playing a little flute. And on the backside, there it is. What do we love? We love the sandworms. Look at this funny little character hanging out on the back on the flip side of Beetlejuice. That's super, super fun. I think I lucked out. I got 2 really, really fun toys, 2 exciting toys to add to my new Beetlejuice cartoon Burger King toy collection. Beetlejuice continued to disgust fans and audiences since the cartoon show ended in 1991. The Beetlejuice musical premiered in 2018, and the Poltergeist guest starred in a special episode of Teen Titans Go in 2020. Now, more than 35 years later, Beetlejuice will return to theaters in a sequel to Tim Burton's classic film. Here's hoping that Winona Ryder breaks out the spiderweb poncho this time around. It would be wild to experience that in live action. Now, before we're done here, I'd like to ask you all a couple of questions. How many of you remember the Beetlejuice cartoon? Also, are you excited for the Beetlejuice sequel? I want to hear all your thoughts in the comments section below this video. For those of you who enjoy spooky movies, you definitely want to check out this creepy video by my friend That Weekend Warrior. And don't forget to subscribe to Retro Spectrum.